Welcome back to a new week. So I've made a few notes so that I can remember all the things that I want to talk about this week, but it's really about thought habits. And I'm thinking about my own thought habits that I have and the way that I work around them. So I don't know if you've ever been overwhelmed or you're criticizing yourself all the time, or you keep having the same thought loop over and over again. Those are the kind of thinking habits that get us stuck. Like we're stuck then. Can't quite get out of it. And that's what we want to talk about today is let's see about how we can manage those, because we all get there, right? We're all there. And it is frustrating, like right now I'm kind of on edge because it seems like everything's broken, right? Well, that just happens to be right now. A few things have been challenging and they are broken and it's irritating. And then I think, the whole world is broken. Life is going to hell in a handbasket. And I have to stop myself and say, no, that's your old thought habit. And that's not the one you want to have. We want new thought habits. So that kind of, everything is bad is catastrophizing. Oh, that was a hard one to say. Or black and white thinking. It's either good or bad. It's either right or wrong. But, life is mostly in the gray. And so that isn't true. And so I have to do this for myself constantly. I have to remind myself, is that true? No, it isn't. It's partially true. I do have a couple of things broken, but not everything. But it is frustrating because I feel like nothing's built well and I always have things breaking and I can't buy anything that's good. Well, those are all catastrophic thoughts, black and white thoughts. And it's not true. Not everything is like that. So we have to back up and say, okay, how can I change that? Well, the number one thing is being self-aware about what you're thinking. And that's what it means to be self-aware, is you know what you're thinking. If you're profoundly self-aware, you know why you're thinking it. So mine right now, I'll tell you my why, because I do know why. I'm out of sorts right now, and so I find that I need control. And when I need control, I start to nitpick, I start to judge, I get right down in the weeds, and I call it cleaning with the toothbrush. You're just scrubbing away in the little corner. That isn't appropriate. That's not the way that we make good choices in life. That's not how we can feel joy. That's not how we notice what's right with our world and feel better. So we've got to change all that. Now, I wrote down a couple of points here. Yes, so why are these patterns so automatic? Well, they're so automatic because we've trained ourselves with them. It's like that cat track when you're skiing. If you get on the cat track, you're going to go right where it's going to take you, because it does. And that's the same thing with your neural pathways in your brain that you have made. They are there. They're like ruts in a road, and you just stay in them and you keep doing the same things over and over again. It's also from our ancient past. We were trained to be negative because that served us well way back in the day for survival. Well, we don't need that so much anymore, right? I mean, we need a little bit of analyzing things, but we don't need to catastrophize everything. We don't need to think that everything is bad or everything is wonderful, because it isn't. It's somewhere in between there. Sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's not so good. But it isn't all or nothing. And so that's the thing. We have to catch ourselves. We have to be self-aware enough to catch ourselves. So how do you do that? Well, you start doing check-ins with yourself. You just do. You just go, okay, what am I thinking right now? How am I feeling? What's going on in my life? Am I feeling like I need control, like Heather? Right? And when you need control, you'll start to judge everything. You'll start to nitpick everybody in your life. You'll tell everybody what to do. And that's not appropriate. And that's not how to win friends and influence people either. But it's also not any way for you to feel good. You don't feel good when you're that way. So I recommend that we stop doing that and start doing something else. And I want you to choose any other thought process that you want to make a habit out of. Maybe you want to be a gratitude person, so you're going to do your gratitudes because that helps you notice what's right. So I don't know which particular thought sort of process that you have that is keeping you stuck, but that's what you need to work on. And for me, it's tough when I'm in this sort of state. And so then I have to really recognize, okay, you're needing control. You're telling everybody what to do. So you need to stop that and sit with yourself and take care of yourself and rest and have time to analyze what is going on, right? What is making you feel like you need control? And I've been analyzing that, and I know a lot of it has to do with, it seems like a lot of my friends are sick and dying. And of course I want to control that. I don't want to die, and I feel like everybody's dying, therefore I'm going to die too. And again, that's catastrophizing. That's not right. Not everybody is dying. But yes, I do need to sit with it and feel the emotions rather than pushing them away. I actually need to feel them so that I can relax a little bit into them, right? But for me, I like to just crush them down. Don't pay attention to that. Don't think that. We don't want to think that, but we need to. We need to experience our emotions as they come. So those are my kind of thoughts about this thinking habits that we have. And I want you to have a growth mindset so that you can change, so that you can be more satisfied with your life, more content. You can just be, right? And so you can disrupt those mind tricks that you're playing on yourself. Those thinking habits can be changed, and it does take work, and it takes consistent work every single day. So that's it for today. So I hope that you found this valuable. And if you did, would you please pass it on, like and subscribe, because that's how I reach other people. And if you don't know me very well, I'm Heather Murray. This is Get a Grip, and I wrote a book. It's called Get a Grip on Your Thinking and Life. And I have a website, thinkgetagrip.com. You can reach me via Gmail, thinkgetagrip@gmail.com. And I have this YouTube channel, and there are classes on this YouTube channel, the Get a Grip YouTube channel, where you can take the class and understand my full scope of it that I wrote about in my book. So I hope you're doing well, and I hope you do find this valuable. And if you could reach out and let me know, boy, that'd be awesome. Hey, social media also, at Think Get a Grip, and Think Get a Grip on Facebook as well. So hope you have a fabulous day. All right, talk to you later. Bye.